Hello, this is a Portland, Liberia, and it's good to be here on this beautiful Friday evening from where I sit. And today being the 30th, no, the 29th of November 2024, we have one more day to go in November, and we'll be entering December. So we want to say welcome to this last edition of the program, the Bottom Line Liberia discussions for the month of November. And it is our pleasure to say welcome. If you just joining us for the first time, this is where we discuss the issues from top to bottom, leaving no stone unturned, with no favor nor fear. But tonight is going to be a very good night, interesting discussions. We'll look at several topics. My colleague Paul, the Lord Chiruple, will be here or is here already. And hopefully Francis Mensah might be joining us. But together, Paul and I, Jima cannot be with us tonight because he's engaged with some special assignments. So he's not going to be with us. But you might, Paul and I will try our best to give you the news as they unfold. And so we'll say, welcome. Invite your friend. If you join us, the moment you join us, please try to share the show on your page and to all of your contacts so that people will follow us and then we all can do the discussions together. Paul, let me say welcome.
Thank you, Lynn, for good evening and good evening to our viewers. If you follow us from the US, I guess it's afternoon time over there. Good evening. And I want to say, is that Alio Kamara also? Welcome to the bottom line discussion. Yes, it's good to be back on this special weekend. It's Friday, brother. What's up?
Cool.
How's Norway?
Yeah, cool, man. We cannot complain. And by the way, we're going to be on the radio as well on our bottom line Liberia radio, so you can join us as we do the discussions. Uh, so if you follow us on the bottom line radio, all you have to do is download that app. It's in the bottom line Liberia discussions. If you find us, you can download the app and then we can all do the discussions together. So but you asked how is Norway, and I hate to be describing how is Norway, man, in this winter, but the snow sees down a little bit. The only thing happening right now, as we speak, is that it's cold, you know, and
Right.
so we. But when it comes to the cold, we do not complain about it all that much because we know it's going to be part of us until uh somewhere in April. So it's
Right.
okay.
So before we go further, I see Joseph Cotto is also watching. So welcome, Joseph. We haven't seen you for a while on the bottom line discussion. So Joseph, welcome to and help share the show. And to those who follow up for a long time and found out that we're on a different platform, the reason being our main page that have up to 18,000 followers, that page were hacked by some Indian hackers and they started using it to advertise on it. So kindly share the show. This is a new platform that the bottom line created. Kindly share the show for people to know. If you're following for the first time, just click on the like button. So when it comes on automatically, you are notified. So tonight we'll be looking at what happening internationally, and also we'll look at the situation in Liberia, what is going on, and we might end up with the death of Prince Johnson. Who is Prince Johnson? We need to conclude on this because there are mixed reaction in Liberia. Some people are for and some people are against. So we need your input on this. So share the show while we take a quick musical break, and we'll be back after this musical break while we have to share the show. Please invite other people to follow us. We are kindly begging you, follow us, share the show, let's flow. So I'm going to have a quick musical break, and I will find my good friend Taku J to lead us through while we sharing the show until Vinfo and others come back onto the program. Kindly share the show. So, Linford, we're gonna play go for a musical break, and then on that musical break, we ask our audience to kindly share the show because this is a new platform for those that used to follow us before. Our main page was hacked by the Indians. This is a new page, and we're trying to grow this page. Kindly help us to share the show. Linford,
welcome.
Okay. Let me see. Where is my good friend Takunje? Where are you? Right. So where's Takunje music? Have it been removed or?
No, I think I got it here. I think I got it somewhere. Okay. You know, the reason somebody might ask why we like the Takunje music so much. You know, the music speaks to the reality on the ground with all of the governments in Liberia. You know, like, I mean, even the photos, sometimes some of us, like me, I used to play in the photos, but then it comes a time that I put myself in the shoes of the photos where everybody's looking for a hero. You think you turn to John, and then John is doing the wrong thing, then you turn to Peter. But here's Takunji and listen to the lyrics.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the tendencies to be? You see, we just tell you.
This is Bottom Line Liberia.
And so, welcome. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Tonight, we will be discussing the issues that unfold right before our eyes. Some of the things that we'll be talking about, you may have heard them, you may have seen some, but like we always say, we have to share our own side of the story. We have to, present it to you as we see it, and then you can look at it from your own perspectives. So welcome to us, and please help us to share the show. Like Paul said, the moment you like this show or our page, whenever we come on, you'll be notified automatically, and then you can begin to share the show and be with us. Let me welcome my good old friend again, Joe Conto. It's been a very, very long time, and Chadela Brown Chiloply, of course, and then Aliu Kamara. There are other people on the board that I didn't see their names, but you can just write in the comment section and tell us where you're watching from, and we'll recognize you, because it's good that you are here. And Paul, tonight, there's a lot of things happening, and the reason why we in Europe are concerned, the things that are happening in Europe or elsewhere around the world, internationally, outside of Liberia, that concerns us, may directly affect us. That's why we always having this discussion. So, what have you been hearing today from our neighbors and on the other side of the world?
Yeah, before we go that, lay the premise of tonight's show, so to our viewers to know where we're heading, give us the menu first, and then we can talk about what we've been hearing. So for those of you who are following us for the first time or been here before, kindly click on the like button of our program. Tonight we'll be looking at the situation in the Gaza, between Israelis and Hamas, and then also in the Ukraine just next door to all my country, the UK is now on the firing line. And then we'll look at the situation in Liberia. Yesterday we had this program on Prince Johnson, but we want to conclude on that tonight. So we'll look at the newspaper also from Liberia, what is going on. We have a new government in place, and this is the 11th month we're in of the new government. So we'll be looking at Liberia, but we'll just briefly talk about Europe and then talk about the Middle East and then dive straight into Liberia. So yes, Lynn, for your question is what I've been hearing. I know there was a ceasefire in the Middle East between the Hezbollah and Israel, but I think it's a fragile ceasefire because the Israeli is giving ultimatum that Hezbollah should not be in the southern part of that country because it's kind of bordering, and we know that it should have been the Lebanese soldiers going there will be patrolling the area, including the French and Americans. But now that ceasefire, the way I see it from a distance, I don't think it's going to hold. I think it's just about time for them to go reload and then start again. So that's what's happening in the Middle East now. And then on the other side, in Russia, the situation with Russia and their neighbors, Ukraine, is like, I don't know how to describe it, like Nimba County. I would take Nimba County as an example. The Geo and Mano fighting against each other. That is the Ukrainian and Russian situation over there. They are brothers. And what happening, the situation now, it have taken another trend that Russia now have now started using their serious weapon in the place. So yesterday was a serious situation that Russia fired, I don't know how many hundreds of missiles that brought down the energy sector in Ukraine. The people slept with darkness. There's no energy now. So we'll have a 1 minute clip or video that we want to play for our audience, and then we can dive into it. Linfo, if you're ready, you can roll.
Okay. So, like you heard Paul say, the situation in Ukraine is taking a different turn, is becoming dramatic as Russia has now launched, I wouldn't say full-scale attack, but Russia has begun its attack that has been going on but has intensified it. And this time, I think they are purposely targeting the electric grid of Ukraine because this is a winter, and doing such will hamper the Ukrainian soldiers or even the citizens of Ukraine. So let's look at this video, and then you see what we're actually trying to describe.
For the second time in 2 weeks, Russia launched a nationwide strike against Ukraine's energy grid. Seen here and confirmed by CBS News, a Russian missile exploding over Rivne in the country's west. President Vladimir Zelensky said Russia launched almost 200 missiles and drones aimed at forcing the United States to accept Russia's terms to ending the war. Russian President Vladimir Putin said nearly 20 targets, including military and defense sites, were hit. And at a security summit in neighboring Kazakhstan, he warned Kyiv's decision-making centers could be next, targeted by Russia's new Oreshnik ballistic missiles carrying multiple warheads and which Moscow unleashed last week, hitting Ukraine's eastern city of Dnipro. After today's newest bombardments, more than 1 million people across Ukraine lost power as the first snow fell on the eastern front lines. There is no electricity, said this man in Pokrovsk. We have coal and firewood. In Mykolaiv in the south, people lined up for water. I checked 5 public water stations, said this man, and only this one is working. While in Lviv, near Ukraine's western border with Poland, generators sputtered to life, giving a semblance of normalcy for some. Now we are used to it, said the store clerk. If there is no light, there is no light, and so we go on living. But the quality of that living will arguably get worse if Russia likely amps up its attacks against Ukraine's energy infrastructure and as winter takes hold. But Nancy, Russia hitting Ukraine's energy grid has tragically now become traditional. This is the third winter in a row in this war still ongoing.
You're muted. You're muted, Linford. We can't hear you.
Okay, you saw that video. You listened to the video. Paul, what did you gather from that video?
The thing is, Linford, it's terrible, though. It's terrible. And what I gather from that video, this is for us that live on our side when it's winter, it's terrible. And you in a cold place where now the bombing, the next thing they'll go for the gas. It's electricity they went for first. Russia, Ukraine is one of the coldest part of the world. And without electricity, so people go back to the traditional old thing by getting fire, getting wood to left, use wood to left fire to get heat. This is where it held into. I think from what the message in our video is that because the Ukrainian allow the US and British missile to be used, so now they go on full blast with the Ukrainian. I think because we know Joe Biden have called for ceasefire, maybe these guys want to go on a full scale now to get what they can get before January. So we don't know what is happening, but it seems to mean that the Ukrainian now will they'll feel the pain of these guys, because before it was brother and sister thing. Now they gone to the full blast. They want to cripple them big time before January. So this is the message that Putin have sent to the rest of the world, that don't try us. The punishment that Ukraine is receiving is based on the West giving them weapons to use, which is not good. And that's what I got from there. I don't know from your understanding what your take on it.
Well, I totally agree with you. Let me just let me just uh, give some analogy. It's like you get a little brother that is very frisky, and you try to warn him all the time. But when you and him go out, he will start acting frisky in the public. Maybe depending on other people, thinking that they can help him, and he start acting frisky. So there's a way to discipline him, and I think that's what Russia is doing, so to speak. But the situation, like you said, is getting concerned. It's getting concerning. The fact that Putin is warning that the NATO, I mean, or the Ukrainian decision making centers will be next. And you know what does that mean? Where the decisions are made for Ukraine to continue to attack Russia will be the next place after they finish with Russia. I mean, after they finish with Ukraine, that will be their next target. And sometimes, so some of us get jittery because, and for several reasons, which I would not want to say here. The reason why I who live this part of the world will be very, very afraid is very, very, very deep. And I would not want to say it here. You see, so it's a very catchy situation for Europe. And when we talk about Europe, we're talking about major countries in Europe may get be affected. And if they are affected by any action from Russia, we might just find ourselves in some full-scale confrontation. Okay, so yeah, Kennedy, I watch it. Yeah, Mr. Awachi, welcome. Is a long-time friend of mine as well. We haven't met before, but I knew his old man very well. His old man worked with us at ELBC. So,
Say, you see the message you wrote?
yeah,
Okay.
something about not correct. I will check it, but I don't know what about it not correct. I'll check a caption. Okay,
Yeah,
but
so
while we checking it, Paul, you can just elaborate a little bit on that Ukrainian situation and considering the proximity of Ukraine to Russia. Like you
yes,
start
so
intimate, is giving that example about the Gil and the Manos, or the let me just say the Cry and the Sapo, or the Grills and the Crews. People who are very
so
close.
so what happened? You have, it's like, let me get Lofa County or and let's say Guinea and Liberia. Those in the Lofa side of the border, that side, they all speak the same language. So that which let me give Crown or the Global that closer the Ivorian border is that Maryland, and then the how they call the taboo area, they're all global speaking people. So similar thing like that is happening with Russia. The bordering side of Russia and Ukraine, that bordering side there, heavily Russian speaking population that is there. And if you see the places that Russians have been taking on the map, those are all Russian speaking territory that they try to put under their control. They're not going for the Ukrainian people. So think on it. Why are they cutting the Russian part, taking it towards those people? That's another thing. Now, the statement Putin made, the center where the information is coming from, the command center will start going after them. Guess what happened 2 days ago? There are 3 US bases in the UK, and unknown drones have been circulating around these facilities. So the British government today have sent over 3,000 soldiers in those places. For some reason, nobody knows. So it's kind of scary. These drones, we don't know where they came from, and they just disappeared. They couldn't bring them down. So this is where we are. It's very, very and scary. So it is what it is. And then Finland and NATO, they were doing a patrol, and they went into Russia territory lately. So they nearly came to that close thing again. So the way things are, I don't know
But
why
yeah, and
the way
the
in this
the,
whole thing, I just don't get it.
the dangerous thing about this whole thing is that the Nordic countries, We got the Scandinavian countries. There are three: Norway, Finland, and Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Then the Nordic country: Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland. Okay, and three of these countries in the Nordic country, or among the Nordic countries, three of them got borders with Russia. That's Finland, Sweden, and Norway. There's a place in the north of Norway. We got a common name for it called no man's land. So you can send to this place. You take 1 foot in Russia, 1 foot in Sweden. At one point, you can turn around, 1 foot in Sweden, 1 foot in Norway. When you turn around, if people have 2 feet, 3 feet or 4 feet under there, all of their feet will be in the three countries at the same time. So, the point I'm making is that it's very close. And I personally have been to the north, on the other side of the north, where it's only the water between Russia and Norway. You can see the land on the other across the water. Is the uppermost tip of the Atlantic Ocean, almost the end of it. So you see, this is a fragile situation for many of the countries. And all of these countries we're talking about, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, or not Denmark, or Finland, they all are part of the NATO. So it could just turn crazy that the Russians say, okay, these countries that are closer to us, maybe they are part of the decision-making centers of the war.
Hold on. NATO secretary come from your country. So, and he's the decision-making person. So that means Norway could be one of the first places to be hit.
And that's why I said why I said there are several reasons why I may not want to even delve into that. You see, but we pray for the best, so that people will see reason. The last time I said on the show that people who have the key to life now, meaning those big countries that will just press one button and we got disaster in the world, they should think about the modern war. This is the age of technology. Everything is advanced. Life is improving. People's life are getting longer because of good medical care. So why would you want to be killing yourselves prematurely for no reason, simply because somebody wants to be the power up there? And the bad thing about war is that you carrying the war to somebody, and the person you carrying the war to, all of you can die. Not because you're taking the war to me, it means that you are immune to death. No, you can also die if I'm able to strike you. And then I can strike you. So this is dangerous for the world right now. And I don't know. But again, people who did not see World War I and World War II are most of the people behind these things. So they think, when they hear about the story of World War I and II, they think that a movie, So people want to maybe experiment. But we hope that they can.
Linford, before we move on, I just want to say that if you look at the European history, this thing that happening is not new. The European, after every 100 years, they market each other. That's part of their history. So it's nothing new that what is happening because it's modern days. That's why. But the European history is just bad. They love killing each other. So fighting has always been a thing. Yeah.
I remember when we were learning history.
You need to tell to our viewers who beg you can't share the show. The reason why we're begging you, our first platform we had that had over 18,000 viewers were hacked by Indians. So we try to get it back. We've been finding it difficult. So this platform is growing. Can you help us to share the show? And we also want to, if you have something, contribution towards the program, you can call in. We have our telephone number. We have a question for you. What you guys think about what is happening in the world? Make your comment. Let's have a discussion before we get into the Liberian discussion. Linford?
Yeah. When you talk about the culture of the Europeans, one thing that comes to my mind is, every time I travel around Europe, something is very catchy. And that thing is that you will see one guy sitting down over the horse with other sword in his hand or on his side as a symbol of heroism. Yeah, you will now see a statue of one guy sharing food or doing something good, but it's always either beheading people or this
Uh-huh.
guy Alexander the Great. you got you, you got modern day, Hitler and all these guys. So you see, Europeans, we are not condemning you guys. Africans had their war probably because the history was not written, but I think Africans were loving people. Africans live, and this is the reason why Africans lived in groups. And even until now, Africans still live in groups. But you come to Europe, you see the same people, one man house there, partition, the next man house there, the next man house there. No, African we live in beat down. And in that time, everybody is considered one family somehow. But again, this is cultural difference. And so we're not trying to condemn our European brothers or whatever. But the reality is the reality.
It
All
is
the war, I've not heard that Africa or Asia started war. No, it's always our brother there. So it's true that after every 100 years, maybe they try to reduce the population.
But that's Euro. After every 100 years, they market each other. So Putin and other people, Zelensky, they're going to go in history. They'll have statue, the great men of the 21st century. Every 100 years, the European market each other. So if they kill each other, they're not satisfied.
You live in Russia, you also live in Ukraine. And I have visited Ukraine several times. There is this statue of this huge woman in Kiev that is called Motherland. Very big. I think I don't know how many meters up there. More than 40 meters. Okay. Then she's a giant. But then again, there is another guy called Taras Shevchenko. His statue is all over the place. And I tried to find out about him. And what I read about him was that he was some big warrior. He liberated the country. So you see, our brother then, the people they like they like hero business. But no, that we just try to add some humor to the show. But on a serious note, I think it's very dangerous because if you look at World War One, poor people were putting soldiers on the ground in the bushes and things. But this time, the dangerous thing about the any war this time would be that everybody's kind of sophisticated.
Yeah.
You're not. And I was reading somewhere today on Google where they say, I think Russia they're trying to make they're not thinking about making plane that will be piloted by humans. They just how you call it drones. So the drones will be going. So they can send 1,000 and you can pump it whole day, but the dangerous thing about it is loaded. So when you pump it, you're pumping yourself. Because the moment you pump it, everything will explode. So you better let it go because if you bump it, so
I remember several years old bunker because these people live in that place. They just let that. I mean, let move on. The European thing.
Yeah. For us, we get out, we go to work. While we're there, then one crazy man sending something that we got no reason, see. But I know God will intervene somehow, and things will happen. Even World War One, people say live. Even Amagado that the power talks about the day, some people say live.
Yeah.
But let's move on.
Think on this carefully. Who are in Africa were using spear and thing to run behind meat. But the people, because they're so bad, they let carry each other, so they were developing till they can't know, they tended to raffle and thing just to kill their fellow human being. That is the white man nature. They just love killing each other. So where the black people are live here now, we just need to be, and what River said, look, he trying to build his family.
I mean, that thing from the Bongo again, because we talk about the air, the people pollute the air so well. But you see, Paul, and what our brother, the only thing they can promote, the arm that have taken the lives of more than trillion people around the world in all sorts of wars. This AK-47 developed by one, I think, Russian guy, Alexander Kalashnikov. Alexander Kalashnikov. I think that was World War II, because that's when that weapon came. And every day they make a new one, new brand one, sophisticated one. The one they got made first, you used to crack fire, but this time they get it, they automatically put it on, using that 32 rounds in the magazine, all gold, then you put new magazine. Can you imagine? Why did they scrap this thing? But they building new ones. You know, but when we try
People
to say,
love killing, my brother.
sorry.
They love killing each other. That's the bottom line of the thing. Because they
Yeah,
love
but
killing
this time
each
around, that's so they will die. We get
Yeah,
they get
so
plenty other people there. But let's move on, Paul. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Enough for our brothers. Let's
Yeah.
move on.
Anyway, to those of you following us on the Bottom Line Discussion, kindly share the show. This is your platform. We're based in Europe. We've been around 5 years now, Linfa. So
Yeah,
although
going to 5 years.
our main page were hacked, we're asking all of you to kindly share the show. Now, let's go into Liberia. What's going on in Liberia?
Liberia, the sweet land of liberty. Let me see. Liberia, the sweet land of liberty. The House of Representatives fashions. Can you imagine that other countries are moving ahead economically, maybe politically as well? But Liberia, there's one country here that is supposed to be the oldest independent republic in Africa, according to what they told us. We've never, ever, ever, ever taken a step forward. If it is not us killing ourselves, like we're talking about our neighbors, then it is people eating the whole country, few group of guys eating the whole country money, or something. I don't understand. What I don't understand about us. So Paul, it becomes something that we have to try to understand as Liberians. Why would lawmakers, people who's supposed to be making the law, and then give it to the judiciary to interpret it, and then the judiciary in turn will turn it over to the executive to enforce it? That is same people who have their own laws that they made. Nobody forced them. They sat down and put everything together. But they're fighting over the implementation of their own law. You want to remove your own leader who is a speaker in your house, gather 49 names, even if you can get 60, because you are 73 altogether, you can get 60, or you can get the entire 73, move the mayor. But before you do that, you got to carry the mayor to court, in your own court, that is in your chambers, and put the medicines before him. I'm sure one thing I know about Judgment Day, people, those of you who believe in something called Judgment Day that will come, that God will waste his time to have that day called Judgment Day. I'm sure God will not just say, okay, live for you guilty, so you can go to hell. So I know he will put our sins before us. He will tell us the reason why we're going to hell. So if you are supposed to move or remove your leader, your own law say, gather your names, your 49 names, then write your resolution, the reason why you want to remove the mayor, and then call the mayor in your chamber and say, okay, here are the names of the people who do not agree with what you're doing, and for this reason we want to move you. So here are your reasons. These are the things that you have done that we don't like. But you're failing to do it. Then you break away from your own place that you should be sitting at. Then you go to another place. You start having two houses. So the ones that are supposed to be in the Capitol building and the one that are at the hotel, who elected them? Is that the same Liberian people? So do they have different laws guarding the two groups? So Paul, I don't understand. But now the case is gone to the Supreme Court, which is the final arbiter of all judicial matters in the country. That means when the Supreme Court talk, nobody can talk. You just also do what the Supreme Court says, because that's the power we gave them, the people, the Constitution gave them. Okay, so the paper is telling us that this case have been hanging around for going to 2 months now, and no hear, no taste, so to speak. So the other faction, the other man, Honorable Kofa, took the case to the court, and they're waiting for the Supreme Court to decide. But the question here is whether, when, and if the Supreme Court decides, give their ruling, their opinion, as they can call it, whether the two groups or either of the two groups will be willing to abide? What do you think?
That is the question. Whether they will be, yeah, they will abide by the ruling. Because what happened now, they created their own law and the Constitution gave them a right to do what they want to do. But then if you cannot abide by your own law, so then somebody can come from outside and tell you, say, hey, this is where you put together and this is where you have to live by. So that means when the Supreme Court say it's this group, then it means everybody have to back down and live with it. But then if you look at it from the other side, the majority bloc that elected their own speaker, in case the case favor fanatic Kofa, would that majority group abide by it, or what are they going to do? They're going to create another scenario again, or if it vice versa, with the other 30 people that are against the majority bloc create a situation that will go back in the next few months? That is the question. So we'll all wait for the Supreme Court. So I think this story, let's wait. There should have been a session yesterday. They refused to go to session, say somebody died in, or superintendent died in so they all went to the funeral. And then yesterday too, the death of Prince Johnson, the other 30 people too decided to go sympathize with Prince Johnson. So there was no session yesterday. So it's the only country in the world that they never take anything serious. So it is where it is, it's Liberia. So let's move on to our main topic here. And before moving on, can you do a quick intro of the Liberian diaspora?
Yeah, okay, yeah. You want to take that?
Yeah, I think I want to go there. For those of you who are watching on for the first time, this December that is coming, there will be a homecoming for Liberians in the diaspora. So we one of the promoter of that program in Liberia. So while we share this 1 minute clip, can they share the show and listen to this? If you're interested in going to Liberia, there are a lot of activities going to happen in December.
Hey, yo, LB, we outside!
Diaspora Liberian Annual Return 2024 is going to be December 1st to the 31st.
So we are calling on all Liberians in the diaspora to come home to celebrate the Diaspora Liberia Annual Return.
It's an amazing adventure. Come and eat your favorite tabagi, your pan butter, your beans, the cassava leaf. Guys, visit Liberia, come and experience some of the amazing tourist destination we have here.
And it's all about our culture and tourism. That's it. You don't hear about our culture and tourism before.
This is also a call to all diaspora Liberians to be here in Liberia in December specifically. We are encouraging everybody to be a part of this wonderful program as we celebrate our heritage and our annual return.
We outside.
It's going to be so great. So come visit Liberia and let's tour this beautiful country together. See ya.
So, Linfa, you know what? When I saw the cassava leaf in the bowl there, you see something about that cassava leaf. I just think of a bit in Monrovia now. The palm butter and all that. Yeah, you see. I mean, that sort of food when you eat it, you say yes, you have eaten something good. So,
but I don't know. And to all of us here, Riverside Pro, all the other guys, I just want to put a question out there. When we are in Liberia, do we really value? I mean, I'm not talking about after we travel, then we'll go back. But when we're there long time, because we're born there, we grew up there. Do you think we really value most of the food that we have in our country? Or not only the food, but most of the things we have now? You think we really value it at that time? Then the reason why I'm asking a question before anybody can answer, the reason is, I remember we used to have pawpaw. The purpose, different thing. They get some no long one when you open it inside red. Then they get the ordinary one, different type of purpose. Then cassava, and in fact everything what we call podope, the avocado, what we call podope, guavo. I remember those days when you eating proper in the morning. Then somebody ask me, when you get food to eat, that kind of thing you eating. You eating guava, and we didn't, here. Someone attack guava, I know where they can bring that thing from. Taste on it, my man. Get a rock before you eat it. You gotta break it a hammer. Before you eat it, guava, where in this, you can get soft. We get a white one, get a red one. That bad then eating in Liberia. Here, one piece is almost $2. The banana then they can bring here. I know from somewhere in South America. When you peel in it, you tell one new gene tries a year. Yeah. So, but in Liberia, we got food there, and we don't think about it. I'm rice. So then I started to value our food. When I came to Europe, I said, hey, so you need papa. And papa very expensive here. That thing what a bad than eating in Liberia.
Oh, yes.
So you talk about the cassawari. We go to the Asian store here, we buy some cassawari that people bring from Vietnam. Or I think Thailand or something. You cooking the thing, it doesn't even taste like cassawari. It tastes like some kind of different kind of leaf. So, Liberia, we got it. We have things. But let us now begin to value what we have. Because now we got reference point, we can compare two things. And the reason why when I look at people in Liberia, they act the way they act, I forgive them. Because sometimes we sit here and we talk, even in the political realm, right? Something's happening, you talking it, people think that you crazy, you will say it. I always say on the show that if a child was born today and you turn that child face upside down or downside down, okay, and that child remains there, it becomes the 20, 30, 40 years, you turn him over and you tell him this is up, you say no, because he doesn't know up, he only knows down. And that's what happens to us in Liberia. Sometimes you see bad governance, we try to talk about it, we try to educate our people, they say no. Or I think you're talking that it's not true. Because they don't know, they got no reference point. So talk to me, Paul.
Well, I think we value the food because I know when we come overseas, we try to go to this African market to buy something that will cook to resemble the food that we used to eat back home. So we value the food. And this is why at least you buy spinach and you think that potato greens, you cook it the way you think you know how to cook it from back home. So we know that the Ivorian have been exporting these can of palm butter. People use it to, it's not like you beating it proper to do it that way. So we value those food. Yeah. So if you don't eat your traditional food, you don't feel look, I'll tell you, a friend of mine in the UK here, that guy travel with solar every time in his pocket. He go to restaurant, he buy food, he had to sprinkle solar on it. This is funny thing, but it is what it is. And he get that feeling that he eating some kind of white food, but he have put some little solar into turn it to a little to get that toboggy taste. So it is what it is. So we value our food, brother. That's the fact.
Well, so for those of us in the diaspora, if we think about going to Liberia, I think this is the perfect time. The reason our promotion of this show is not to support the government's efforts. I mean, like we're doing it for the government. We are doing it for ourselves and our children and our culture, our people in the diaspora. That's why we are doing it. So nobody should think that we are supporting the government. We're not getting anything from the government to support them on this endeavor, but we are doing it as Liberians. That's our contribution. If I had opportunity now to go to Liberia, I would have gone. Okay, but probably the next one I'll be there because we need to go back. Go if you have your children and you have the time, take them back. Let them see where we come from. It's very, very important, and so that's why we are doing the show. But at the same time, we also support the government in that area, so we can't deny that.
So, Nimba.
Yeah.
As we progress towards Prince Johnson's death, there's a video that I got from the hospital and the doctor of that hospital. It's a 5 minute, nearly 6 minute clip of video. It's very good, and I want us to play that video, and we'll ask our audience to play the video. We want your contribution because there are mixed reactions the way people are behaving in this video. So kindly asking the audience to want your info. Listen, it's 5 minutes. It's not too long, but very interesting from what happened yesterday on the ground.
Do you have it or you want me to play?
According to the security that brought him, he passed out this morning on the way to the bathroom. And so they picked him up and they rushed here. But upon arrival, he was already not breathing. He was unresponsive and not breathing. But the nurses rushed and took him into the ER and started oxygen, started IV fluid, and started chest compression. I did my total examination, and he was unresponsive. His eyes were fixed. He was not breathing. Oxygen saturation, blood pressure were all 0, 0, 0.
There are so many discussion on the social media. On the other hand, there are people who are mourning with us at Nimba. On the other hand, there are people who are jubilating against us. And what I want to tell people is that death does not belong to an individual or for one person. So I want to erase that opinion by putting the national hero. But the fact is, a person who publicly killed a sitting president and who take away lives of so many people, that person's death should not be celebrated as the death of a national hero death. No. The fact is no longer in the picture does not mean that there should be no war economic crime code, right? The code can still count. There are other posts, they are still around. Previously had lieutenants. Previously had people that were taking direct order from him. Even if for me personally, if you ask me, I would tell you, say yes. Previously, even if he's not yet now, he's there already. But the court should say, can make sure, even when they find him guilty, they should change his grave. They are ruined star, right? Let his grave be changed. If like 50 years, after 50 years, they should lose the change from there. Hey,
he killed my uncle. So the pin that passed through 1992, that is same pin the family passing through. So for that reason, I send my condolences to the family. But the pin that passed through 1992, March, that is same pin that passed through. So Prince Johnson there really. It's not like that something that happened to me. I'm happy.
I'm feeling so bad.
Right. Linford, this a mixed reaction, and the video was put together a group of guys in Liberia reflecting the all what happened for our viewers. It's just to show, and we need our viewers' input here. You heard the last guy who said, yeah, talk to us.
The video was somehow graphic with the war something. So Facebook, we hope that you will not block our video for that. But this is something that happened live in our presence. All of us you see on the screen, we lived that live. We saw it. We saw what happened, and that's the person who died that we're talking about was one of the perpetrators of what you just saw on the screen. So please do not block our video. But Paul, talking to you about the mixed reactions, I expected that. I think we briefly touched on this thing last night. There will always be mixed reaction. No, let me tell you, if God was to come on earth now and sit one side, and Satan come on earth and sit one side, the two of them, and they call all of us on earth, say, you come, yeah, go here, yeah, Satan here. You will see people will be there clapping for Satan, while other people will be clapping for God. So the point I'm making here is that everybody got different way of thinking. I mean, to the point where two identical twins or triplet or quadruplet or quintuplet do not think the same way. So there is no way you can control the way somebody will think. Scientists have tried, unless they can make their own humor. Okay, unless scientists will make their own humor and control the brain, then maybe two people will think the same way. But it's not just possible to make somebody think the way you want. So you always have these diverse opinions on issues. So for some people, Prince Johnson is a hero. See the amount of people that cry. I mean, there's another video that, in fact, the live that I saw yesterday from Front Page Africa, live, one hour video live, how people were knocking themselves on the hard cement floor and rolling and people, it was the Prince Johnson was the angel that everybody has been waiting for, or people were worshiping. Then on the other side, there were people who were jubilating. I mean, I was just watching it live and reading the comments. And I sat down. I was at work, but it took me almost past my lunch time. I just sitting down, just watching. And I didn't know that this could happen. Then I started to think, if the death, because we have seen other warlords die. Ahachi Nkrumah died, it wasn't like this. Or people mourned though. Roosevelt Johnson died, he was a fashion controller as well, fashion leader as well. We didn't see something like this. But why is it that Prince Johnson is so extraordinary? And the answer to that question is because the role that Prince Johnson played.
The role Prince Johnson played.
Go out.
So the role Prince Johnson played was
the role that Prince Johnson played. Sorry, I got some interruption. But the role that Prince Johnson played. Prince Johnson, there is this old cowboy movie called The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. So Prince Johnson was like a good guy to some people. On the other side, Prince Johnson was the bad guy. And deep, Prince Johnson was the ugly. So it is expected that you're going to have this kind of mixed reaction. And, somebody will say, oh, wow. You listen to the gentleman that said Prince Johnson killed his uncle. Allegedly killed his uncle March 1992. and he was in pain. He felt pain. So the same pain that he felt at that time is the same pain that Prince Johnson family is feeling. That's why they are crying. Okay, so put yourself in the gentleman's shoes. At least for Prince Johnson, he died on natural death. Nobody killed him for no cause. He died natural death, so to speak. But what about the people that he killed without any interrogation, without any? These people did not have the opportunity to defend themselves. Oh, my man, you cry, man, bam. Whether you're crying or not, the person is there. And the person family did not even see the grave. Okay? So, the mixed reaction will be there forever and ever until all of the victims die and go out of here.
Right. So, I have a question for you and to our audience.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Johnson was one of the big fish for the War Crown Code, no matter how you're going to face it. And he could have won and walk away. But the fact is that the Liberian government refused to bring War Crown Code until his death. The family that fell victimized, can this family now take the government to ECOWAS court to get compensation from Liberian government for delaying now to bring the War Crown Code to Liberia because people still have in the pain? What your thought? Because this is wrong. They know exactly that people don't live long in Liberia. Our the less expectancy is what? 65. If you men, you reach 65, that bonus, and they know that, and they refusing to bring the War Crown Code. Should those people take this government to court and ask for compensation for the pain that they have caused them? Because the people going one by one. What are your thoughts?
That's a good question. It's not a video, but it's a news story in the front page Africa. I will highlight it so that the viewers can see. Okay. Moruba Moru's group called the Stand is demanding the swift action on the War Crimes Code in the wake of Prince Johnson's death. So the question you're asking, if I should relate it to this news story, and if you read the story deeper, Stand is saying, yes, Prince Johnson is dead, but there are other people that are still alive. So the delay in bringing this War Crimes Code is unnecessary. So make it swift. Hurry up. Do something so that we can have people like Bodnigan come in. So that we can have people like George Bolden come in, Thomas Yaya Nimle, and the rest of them. Because the thing is, they will not get justice. I mean, they too need to get justice, right? All the thing we're talking, every time we talk about the War Crimes Code, it's like, okay, only the people who fought the war, they are guilty. No, nobody's saying that they are guilty. They too should have their day in court. They should be able to defend themselves and say, yes, we did it or we did not do it. I think this is the purpose of the War Crimes Code. So to answer your question, I don't think the families of the victims should sue the government. All they need to do is call on the government to set the action, the whole process into action, into motion, so that at least even if that one person will still be alive, that person can face that will settle the score. No, the purpose of the War Crimes Code is to set this precedent, this example, that listen, no Joe Blow should yet take gun and get in the bush like Yakwalo did long time ago and start shooting people. No. Try to set a precedent. Let's example. Let's live by it. Or else one Charlie Booker will take gun, load it, and start killing people in the bush. Nothing will happen to him. Because nothing happened to the other people. You see it?
Yeah.
So I think that's the whole purpose. But how do we identify the victims? In fact, what if I get and say, okay, Prince Prince Johnson kill, God forbid, Prince Johnson kill all my people. How do people verify that?
So the thing is, during the TRC, before they did the TRC report, they had some town hall meeting where people came forward to put their case forward.
I personally had problem with our TRC report. Not the report itself, but the testimonies of a lot of people. That no town halls. Look, most of the people, look, but sometimes people will find ourselves in precarious situation, and sometimes it becomes difficult in the kind of thing, in the kind of situation to talk, because people were walking before that TRC and giving misleading information. Some people get here say, how will somebody be in Monrovia? And then they will know what happened way in Greater Liberia, somewhere way in Banga, or somewhere way in Ganta. And people are giving conflicting situations. See, for example, people were traveling from far place to come to the TRC to testify against Taylor. And if you live in Greater Liberia, somebody, what I was saying is totally wrong. They were giving conflicting information. But again, what the TRC profiled was what people told them. The TRC did not go, in most cases, on the investigate individuals. Somebody brought complaint and said, they came, they killed all my people. And the TRC will document that. But then
the question you asked, how will the government know this is true? Because it's not like the modern days now that we all have cell phone with video evidence and pictures and stuff. During the war, nobody will be taking pictures here, say the person. I mean, when me and you are growing up, to even get photo camera, we have to get somebody that have to go pay some money before they take our 7 picture. So
they used to have a photo, right? When they shoot
exactly.
They come outside.
The situation at that time was not there. And people still remember, like that guy in the video, say Prince Johnson killed my uncle. And I live with this. Because I live with it, they found money. So if that man want to quote, when you ask, he said, bring the evidence. That's what happened with the Lutheran Church massacre. When
this is I think, in the establishment of the whole war and economic crime school or the war crime school, I think it will also face some impediments because, again, like I said, we are in a precarious situation, right? It's difficult to talk. And because there were actual victims. We can't, I live in Greater Liberia. I was in Monrovia when the war hit, July 2nd. I never went back to my house. I worked at ELPC when the war hit. And from the street, I ended up somehow, by luck, in Kakata, with one trouser, one shirt, no shoes. Okay? So I saw things. Walking through rare markets, that's in the guess I know seen walking a Catholic church somewhere around Pinsway there before you reach to the Agobacho market. And I saw, you see people running with their clothes falling, and at the end of that clothes falling. We're walking. It was the first time. So because when we're walking that day, it was the first time I saw a real dead body. I said, when people die, and walking from that place to pack up in, it was terrible. I said, go through trauma. But so the point I'm making is that we cannot downplay the fact that there were actual victims. But then it's also difficult to establish because we talk about from 1990 until now, that's 34 years plus. So somebody will walk to a podium and say, okay, they kill all my people. Yeah. How do we verify that? And then how can we, because it will be, so the war crimes code itself will have a lot of work to do. The verification of all of these allegations.
And that's the point I mean.
Yeah.
Therefore, what you just said, when the thing was fresh, when the people were calling for the war crime code, politicians refused to bring it. And they knew that they were deliberated for the people not to face justice. That's why I get upset. They knew when it was fresh, when Severine was having her own, Liberia refused. Because we have to protect
Emmanuel, bro, you are very,
Yeah.
very correct.
Go
That
on.
was the Sinkisito church, that Catholic church. No, and Paul, man, every time I imagine this thing, up to now, I say feel that I don't have life in me because I don't know how we survive. We were captured from ELBC and a lot of people got wounded, and then the guys are beating us and carrying us. Yeah? Especially when they knew that we were working at the radio station, they beating me and carrying all a group of people. We're different people. We're all going. And then we're walking on a main road, right? Past Duporo Junction, coming to that where they show how I know something like you are with nature or something like place. Then climbing the hill to kind of Kings. Then they say we fell in ambush. We don't know what they call ambush. They say you're crawling on the ground, you're roll. All can see on that quota and fighting hard to get our way. Then we need to take something like bypass. They say, I'll take the bypass. When we reach to that church, I give up all. Because so day by everywhere. So I said, well, I don't know, because we don't know where we're going. So it was terrible. Yeah, you're right. My brother said King Kisito Church. It was not easy. So the point I'm making, actually, I cannot downplay because I live throughout the war. I live across the land. Okay, even though across the land was not as terrible as those days when you fight high and get to Kagata. When the war was fighting, when you fight high and get to Kagata. In fact, not even Kagata. From Mount Barclay, when you get that from Montreal straight to Kagata, straight on the road. So I tell you, and you walk on sugarcane peeling, you can see the quota road. You see a 2-year-old child sitting there behind one long sugarcane. Don't worry, you will finish it. I'm telling you, but the thing we saw to the point where up to now we do not have a war crimes code. That only chancellor is in jail. This is terrible because this is unbelievable. For people who remain in Monrovia, they suffer a lot. I agree. No food, nothing. But they did not see things that were across the land. Okay. No.
So Nimba, let me bring you to another question in that video. Somebody said, even after Prince Johnson death, when he found guilty in his absence, they must change his grave of where left town they gave him. I think people will see that as laughing thing in Liberia, but I think if he found guilty, if his name still there, he's found guilty, they should build a statue for the family to remember and put something on it. This was the notorious murderer that we had in this country, so people can forever remember him. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the point that our guy raised is very important. Okay, Prince Johnson is no more. Even all the other people that are still alive, they will all die. We all will die eventually. But
absolutely,
remember, I used the word precedence. Example. No, in the absence of law, there will always be violence. There will always be breaking of the law. In the absence of the execution or the enforcement of the law. Today is Prince Johnson, is Charles Taylor, is what they got Thomas Yaya Nimle, Connor, all the other people, George Poley. But at the end of the day, they will all die. So if nothing happens to any of them on the land of justice, what do we use as a precedent in the future to deter similar thing happening? What example can we get? No, let me tell you. My grandmother used to tell me, she said, the war that you did not see or you did not fight, you will always be the hero for that war. And you know why she told me that? She used to tell, my grandmother said she was younger when World War II was fighting. They used to refer to it as the Queen War. And she had a broken wrist. She said she was a small girl. And they all ran away in the bush. They used to go climb the tree to look for cassava leaf over the bush. When they see that cassava leaf, one person will be in the tree and directing the other person on the ground to go. Okay? To go when they reach the cassava leaf, then they go and they walk cassava. So I said, but why you run away? Every time she talks about the war, two people and the war. And Nanipo was for Nanipo when the slave trade was on. So I was small boy, I used to be very curious. I ask questions all the time. So she said the war, because you didn't see the war, so you will always be hero. You will always think that we ran away war because we were coward. And so the point I'm making here is that if there is no precedent set that will deter similar thing happening in the future. People will always feel, oh no, that thing they talking, man. Anybody can get in the bush, take war, gun, and go kill a lot of people, and nothing will happen to you. You see it? So that's why it's necessary that even Prince Johnson is there. What they got name, Roosevelt Johnson is there. Ahaji Nkrumah is there. Their grave should be changed. You know what? Just put in that chain. You know, it's what would the word I want to use? There was a word I was in my mind to use with that. Just putting that chain on the grave alone. It's a memory, bad memory for the family. They got millions of graves in Monrovia. So why this particular grave with chain on it, we hang off or some kind of, you know, that alone will go down as history for the family. The children, you know, Prince Johnson got children, and grandchildren will come, and great-great-grandchildren will come. Then they say, okay, here is a great-great-grandfather grave. The child will ask, why is it that my great-great-grandfather grave have chain on it? And they will explain. So even though they are there, but it is necessary. And I agree with that statement from that guy, that they should change the grade so that people would know, that will serve as reference. The same way if somebody does go and see church and they get a picture with the ballon d'or, so his great grandchildren will come and say, oh, our great grandfather got it, he won the ballon d'or. So Prince Johnson, his great grandchildren will ask, why does our great grandfather have this thing on the grave? And people will be able to explain to them.
That would be interesting. With country being Liberia as a country that worship Prince Johnson, whether they will have that balls to do it, that's another thing. So yeah, let's see how far. And I like where Mobile Molu is saying that the remaining people, yeah, they got speed up with their war crown court. The other people have that day in court. They can't just get away with it because the way things are going now, they're getting away with it. You see, I'm being very serious. They need to do something now and push this thing. Because of one person, they were delay the person gone. So let them push it.
No, but I would not agree with you, Paul, that because of Prince Johnson they were delayed. It's just that most of the people who, okay, let's say 2003, it's been 2003 until now, it's been almost 20 years, right? Almost 21 years. Okay. So who became president immediately after the war?
The warlord herself.
Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and who is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in the war? She was a major financier.
The financier of the war.
So did you expect that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf will shoot herself in the leg or in the head? You know, you live in Russia. You know the Russian roller, right?
Hold on. This is interesting. You see, when I said the delay, I'm referring to all of them. When Ellen left, what happened? There's another sponsor of the war that took over.
And who was that, Georgia?
Absolutely. There's a report on me that is sponsored
for George Weah. And I want to be very, very, very clear here and a little bit neutral here. Probably playing the devil's advocate at the same time while I try to be clear and neutral. I personally do not have any evidence.
Oh, but I can tell you, don't worry about that. If you remember, there was exchange letter between Weah and Cummings. If you remember, that was the last statement that Cummings wrote. We have evidence and facts on you and bank transactions that you supported the war. The information is there. And yet Koruba said the same thing. That he's
so which faction did he support?
The how they call it, the left faction that he supported. Okay, it's there. So, the evidence is there. So the report is there. It's not any secret. So don't.
Okay, granted. I will draw back. Granted. So when you talk about a delay, so if you look at the Ellen Johnson leadership, you didn't expect Madam Johnson to bring a war crimes code, especially when she see her immediate comrade, Charles Taylor. Pressure was on her to turn him over. So these were some of the bargains probably behind closed door. So we know you finance the war, but you finance the war, you are not physically on the battlefront or whatever. Okay, so we will forgive you. But if you can turn this man who physically led the troops, then we'll let you off the hook for now or forever. So there were a lot of things, and we're not there. Negotiation would have taken place. So, and you didn't expect that Ellen will push this thing against herself. Okay? And then as learn, so George Weah now want to, the real big fish was there. Ellen Johnson, she didn't do anything. So that means little George Weah, who I was were way behind the closed door. They now even made my own public. That I the one who can't go bring this thing. So let me forget it.
So I mean, that's the point I'm making, because they knew, and Emmanuel just said, Muslim people don't have graves. So how can you change a Muslim grave? Here we go. You see some of the thing.
What do you mean Muslim people do have grave? So they throw it away? I know. Is that right? There's a Muslim cemetery on the Oro. It used to be on the Oro going to Chubon. When you come from Juba, I think I told my mother 30 years ago, so I can't even imagine those places. When I was in here, I remember we used to pass Shanko down there going to Chubon.
So the thing is, they don't post something, say like a stone or something, say this is where the person buried. They just buried them like that. So that means that.
Yeah, even if they didn't get grave.
Yeah.
People say no, I actually remember bury. We'll choose something I think there.
Oh, yeah. All right. I see. So you post some statue or something and say this is the change it.
Put a statue and put hang on him.
Yeah. Back to that topic. With George Weah coming in, he made a promise to Liberians that he was going to bring war crown code. And he knew he was not going to do it. And then on the other side, he promised the financier of the war that I will protect you. So this is the delay that I'm talking about, because these guys knew that they just lied to our people. They knew that they would never bring war crown code. Then on the other side again, you have somebody that have been alleged that he was the founding father of the Local Defense Force, who is the current president. Also promised he'll bring war crown code. When the time came, the American pressurized him. What he did, he set up a group of agencies, say, oh, they would now do the investigation. So in that delay, it will continue. So by the time Joseph Barker says he has finished, Jeremiah Kuntu, if he succeed or whoever become president, will lie to the people. So we may never have this thing going. And this is the frustration. So I agree with Moba Molu. They have to do it swiftly if they really mean business. But I don't see these people doing it.
But there are some people who are saying that the death of Prince Johnson, there's no more need for the war crimes code.
And people are right, because what? Prince Johnson and Ellen were always protected. And remember, at some point, they don't used to take mockery of Prince Johnson when they go to session. War crime could walk until Prince Johnson went after him one time. And what happened? The people that he picked to be president, they will always protect him. He's gone. So who next? These guys are all in it together. Unless you have some neutral person in Liberia become leader, say this time people will live football. The same old players, I don't see this happening. They are the same old players. With Joseph Barker bring war crown code on Ellie Johnson Salif, I can't see that. And Joseph Barker also been accused. They been alleged. There's documented paper that he was the founding father of the Local Defense for the first chairman. So if that is true, he cannot bring war crown code. So they will delay.
Okay, but if you continue to say that, which I will consider an insinuation on your part, that Joe Barker, is accused, and so he can bring war crimes school. So then why is he playing this game? Because we saw a video which we played on this particular show one time, where he promised Alan White that he will establish a war economic crime school. And according to the video, or according to people, he was in fact the one that invited Alan White on this discussion. Then the second time we saw, or we have seen, not only second time, or maybe once or twice, the American, how do you call, what's her title? Ambassador on war crimes, something. She's been to Liberia at least once. Yeah, Van Schack. She's been to Liberia once or twice. So why do you think Joe Bwaka will be, or President Bwaka will be playing that kind of game if he's not interested in establishing the war crimes code? And he's now playing that kind of game with one small potato, but a great United States where we always run to.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. The reason why I'm saying he's playing a game, because we still gather video evidence also on the story that the same Alan Where and others, and even that Fasha woman, that they had a document sent to him. That document, it was they used the model of Sierra Leone, that you request United Nations to come in, and they will do they will sponsor the whole thing. And he said the document was on his desk to get signed and send it out. But then when he came out and established a new group. And he established the agency with a new head to now begin the process to do the investigations that they coming to now put the whole process together. And all that is called delay, Lingford. It's the delay.
Okay.
Let's delay the thing. Let's delay it. That's the delay I'm talking about.
We've gone this route before. Me, you, and Jima, we've gone this route before. I keep having a hope and believe that the war and economic crimes code will come. When? I don't know. Where it will be? I don't know. But what I believe is that it will come. And then the reason why I still have that belief that it will come is that the president is the president. And he called Alan White and made a promise. And besides that, America has been sending their emissary on war crimes to Liberia several times. And I know when this woman comes, she's not only coming to come walk a ball, like we say in Liberia, she's not only coming for walk a ball, no. She's coming for several reasons. Where the woman will fly 8-9 hours to come to Liberia, spend money. The American government spending money for her upkeep while she's in Liberia. It's not for fun. But this is what I want to say, that the delay or the seeming, what appears to be a delay to us, to you, to me, to any other person who feels that the process is being delayed, is that, I mean, let's give the government this one. Let me give President Bwaka this one. He just took power. I mean, this is the 11th month of the government. So it's a lot of things internally to do, to structure the government, to even up to now as we speak, appointments are not being completed. So real structures are not in place yet. So at least he made effort, he appointed a commission with a head. Whether that commission is effective or not, I don't know. But at least he appointed a commission, and that goes in line with his promise that he will establish the World Economic Crime School. I don't think President Bwaka is that childish, or he'll be, whether he's so absent-minded or he's so high on something that, I mean, sorry for the expression, but I just have to say this, that he will look at America to make fool out of them. No, that would be detrimental. That would be detrimental. Okay. Because he has the option to say, no, I will not establish a World Economic Crime School, and nobody will call him true for that. God forbid. But for him to promise and even allow the United States to be involved in a promise where the United States promise that they will sponsor the whole thing. Okay? That the UN is still waiting for him to sign it. So the point I'm making here is that it will happen. But because the government just took power 11 months now, and what we're talking about, it was almost like the second and third month of the government when this thing came up. So nobody in his right mind would do that. Even me, I wouldn't do it for our president. I have to put my house in order first. So let's give the government chance until on this one, until maybe next year, or even for me, leave one until the year after next. If all the guys want to die, Joe Bullen they want to die now, and what the guy let them die. That is a sin death. The reason of the establishment of the war crimes court is not to kill them. It's for them to vindicate themselves. I think which is even good because Prince Johnson, and this is my final take on him. May his soul rest in peace. Prince Johnson also, will not have justice. You follow me?
I'm listening to you carefully.
Very good. Why it is true that there are victims who are coming and expressing their feeling that they did not have justice, Prince Johnson also, in my opinion, will not have justice. And somebody will ask me why. If you ask me why, I will tell you. Even if you don't ask me, I'll explain because a lot of people watching this show and they may understand me differently. The reason I say Prince Johnson will not have justice is that Prince Johnson was not carried to court. Nobody took Prince Johnson to court on all of the allegations for him to be able to defend himself and vindicate himself, besides what he explained to the TRC, which was not a court, though. So it is possible that you mentioned earlier on that maybe these guys could even walk away. It's possible that Prince Johnson would have explained his side of the story, and the court will see reason and say, okay, we understand that there were conditions that made you to do what you did. I'm just being hypothetical, right? Because we are a democratic nation, we are, a law-abiding country, that our constitution says that every man, even if he saw me cutting somebody through, all the blood on my hand, God forbid, right? I'm still innocent until I can be judged and brought down guilty. So Prince Johnson too will not have justice because his soul or this will linger on him for long. We are even suggesting, somebody is even suggesting that the grave should be changed. So, can you imagine? So that would even be injustice to Prince Johnson as well because he was not brought down guilty. I'm just being hypothetical.
There was a video you played yesterday, but you didn't go into the graphic of that detail. That video alone is evidence that Prince Johnson murdered somebody, the sitting president.
Oh, does that make Prince Johnson guilty under our law? No.
Well, they said his own video under our law, he can be prosecuted and the lawyers can use it against him and he can be found guilty. That's all.
No.
I just gave you something under our law. They say innocent until you. So let me explain. There's a video evidence that he brought out to the public when he executed a sitting president. That's one. The people are witnesses. I'm saying he's guilty. I'm gonna give him. I didn't say he's guilty.
The video
so
is
I
there.
just saying, there's a video. I just gave him after laying the premise. There also his own TRC report that he did certain things, and there is evidence there also that there's a woman called Grady Allison. Water Allison? There's a video evidence around when he slapped her and that woman disappeared. These are all evidence that could be used against him in the law. That yes, his own action. So we should.
The pictorial and visual evidences or everything there. I agree. But I'm just looking at the law because somebody, Prince Johnson lawyer could argue and say, no, listen, you accused my client and you didn't take him to court to vindicate himself or for you people to find him guilty. So allegation, as it says, it will continue to remain allegation throughout. Now, so what will we say about Doe? Doe will say, no, I did not send people to Lutheran Church to kill anybody. Or maybe people who just decide to go there to kill people. But everybody say, oh, that Doe sent people. Okay? So, you see, the law makes it critical. Like I give you an example. You will see somebody cutting somebody's throat with a blood on the hand. What happened recently in your country where a white guy tried to murder this girl right in the quarter of broad daylight, not in the night. Motorcycle riders saw this guy and even arrested him with the knife, everything they carry to court. What the court say? Any court free the man? You see, because they did not find him guilty. So, I mean, legally speaking, Prince Johnson was not found guilty. So nobody. And one of I think it was it somebody made a comment here earlier on that I saw about it, highlighted. We're talking about Chancellor. And the guy said, remember that Chancellor is not in jail because of the Liberian crisis. We agree. You see it?
No.
But the War Crimes Court for Sierra Leone was able to bring Chancellor down guilty because of his alleged participation of the war in Sierra Leone. You see it? So, as it stands, like Chancellor is not guilty for Liberian Civil War. Prince Johnson is not guilty because nobody told them to call. Ellen Johnson is not guilty. You see it? So the delay, I'm just looking at the law. The delay is to be responsible, is to be blamed for all of these people walking away or even dying without being brought down guilty or set free. Who knows? Prince Johnson would have been set free. Nobody knows. But I think it's a secret issue. And we want to once again say that we are very happy to have all of you on here. For those of you watching us, we want to say thanks for being with us. This is the Borderland Liberia. This is what we do here. We discuss the issues. We give our own analysis and opinions on the issue. That does not make it right. That does not make it wrong either. That's just exactly how we feel, So we welcome you, and Emmanuel brought this. I think this is the first time I see you here on this platform. So we hope that you will make it your home. We are here every Tuesdays and Fridays. So if anything happens, anything important happens, we can also come Wednesday or Thursday. So, but our official days are Tuesdays and Fridays. So make it your home and help us to share the show, like our page, so that whenever we come on, we'll automatically be notified. Share our show on all of your contacts and all your page.
I think Emmanuel been here before. He followed us on YouTube. So
okay, that's great.
Yeah, so welcome, Emmanuel, and it's good to have you back here. Yeah, so Linford, the way it is.
Yeah, but don't forget, we have our Liberian diaspora people going back to Liberia. Okay, so I'm gonna find the other jingle to play because this is very important. It's not about me, it's not about anybody, it's not about the government, but it's about us Liberians trying to return and make sure that we we can orientate ourselves with what's happening in our country. Because let me tell you, beside Liberia being my home, I feel that this is a perfect opportunity to have a place called home. Because if you live in the diaspora, you live in Europe, you live in America, and sometimes the original people of those countries, they feel that you don't have home. They think that maybe you jump from a tree or you just some vagabond. So when they don't even know, that's why I tell my people here. I say, you don't know. You don't even, maybe you cannot even measure with me when it comes to being somewhere. I said, here in your home, yeah? Okay, you think I don't have home. But if anything happen here, where will you go? Again, the clear evidence is the Ukrainian team. I see the Ukrainian person all over the place there, they're selling, picking, because in Norway, the soft drink bottle, the raw plastic bottle, we don't throw it away. We don't throw it in the street because it can't dissolve. So they recycle it. And when you recycle, you get money. I see them carrying bag or plastic, local bottles and soft drink bottles to go, soft drink cans to go, recycle it. Then I laugh. I say, look, these are people, if I had gone to their country, under normal circumstances, they would think that I came from nowhere. They will not know that situation can make you to change. I mean, I pity that condition, but until these things happen to somebody, they will not know. So when they see all the things that, okay, the people come from nowhere, they are coming here to find living. No, hell no. We come from somewhere. But because of condition, that's why you see in your country. So I always try to let them know. So let me see if I can play this so that those of you who are contemplating going to Liberia for this program, so you can go and have some fun and come back. You know, it's good to have two homes. You come here, then when you get tough or you get tired seeing there is no thing, you go back home. So that's it.
Election for unity and prosperity. Yeah.
Hello, Liberia. My name is May Louisa Nuehill. I'm the Assistant Minister for New Media and National Branding at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. I'm here to talk to you about Diaspora Liberian Annual Return Event 2024. This event has been organized by the government of Liberia in partnership with the private sector. We are coming out this December to celebrate our rich culture and heritage. We are coming out to promote Liberia and all that Liberia has to offer. We are saying to you as a government, come home, come back and embrace your roots. President Boyka and the people of Liberia, we are calling all Liberians in the diaspora, whether you are in the Americas, Asia, Canada, Europe, any part of Africa, wherever it is you are in this world, come back to Liberia and be a part of the nation building process. We are saying, come back home. Come home, let's speak small Kolokwana. Bring the children home. Let's play Nafo, let's play Husker. It's been a while since we visited Liberia. Come and see what is happening. A lot of amazing things are going on in the country. Come, let's visit the Nimba Eco Lodge. Let's go to Cape Mine, Sir. Come, let's go to Grand Bassa and swallow fufu. When last you ate that tobaki, that organic tobaki from Lofa? Come home, let's go to Maryland and eat the palm butter. We are calling on all Liberians to come home, let's celebrate. We have investment conference going on. We will have a One Liberia March. We'll have a peace and reconciliation dialogue where the diaspora community, we know you have your concerns and we too will have our concerns where we can sit and dialogue and talk about everything that is going on in Liberia and how we can fix this country. The slogan is LIB, we outside. President Boyka is saying, we outside. I am saying to you, we outside this December. Every Liberian is saying to you, we outside.
Okay. Paul, are you there?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
here.
great. Okay, great. So that's it. You know, it's all about going out, going home, and probably if I were going there, Paul, I will not just be going all over the place. I will go to my village. You know, I remember during the war, after we ran away from Memorial, when I went our country, I managed to enter. It was like coming from prison, yeah. After I suffer all our suffering, man, then I walk again from Banga. I mean, from Pastor all the way. Let's say from Kakadabo, we took a Pastor route all the way from Liberian Forest. So we were in that forest complete 7 days when I reached home. The day I reached home, in fact, the time before my time, we slept there. Then I have 13 people traveling with me. There are 20 people will not reach. But tomorrow we'll reach in our time, but we'll not reach near the place. And luckily for me, I met some people, probably who I know. Probably they say, oh, when I call my father on, he say, they say, we'll come in. And they all probably went in one big gallon pound one, man. Oh, I realized that evening, man. I say, yes, it's good to be home. Yeah, see, so, you know, I would have loved to be there, to be in a village and, you know, eating a real country chicken, or the probably come from fishing with our fresh fish hanging on the rope and stuff like that. So it's sometimes good to be home, Paul, you know, and just change the way that we live. And every day you wake up, you look at all the BB building there, you know, the noise, all over the place, the pollution. And so it's good to be home. I'm very happy that I have this opportunity that I can have two homes, that I can go there and be on the other side, and, you know, change a little bit.
That's right. Linfa, your house is your house. They say nowhere the home.
That's it, brother. You're right.
Yeah, it's going to be
Nowhere at
important.
home. You know,
Yeah.
in Norway, there's a saying. They say, "Away is better, but home is best." And guess what? And guess what? Every time we travel, because me, I love traveling. Every time we travel, we sleep in the nice hotels and everything. But again, you in a hotel, especially people like who got children, you're so careful with everything in a hotel or in the Airbnb. You careful, but then when you come back home, I mean, you're free. You know, the children they claim it anyway. Say you got time. You know,
That's your home.
That's your home.
That's your home.
That's your home. So the home is home, and no, all the birds that fly in the sky, they all got a nest. So the how you call it, the eagle cannot fit in a squirrel's net, and and the squirrel cannot fit in the eagle's net. Your net is where you belong. You fit there. And Paul, just imagine, man, you travel, then you come home, and the moment you enter, that feeling can come to you that, oh yes, at least I made it. I went everywhere, but at least I'm back. You see that sense of safety. I don't know what can happen to you.
You know, when you land in Liberia, before landing, something can just come over you.
Yes.
It's not so Western. You know that this is you. This is the environment you grew up in. This is what you used to do. You prepare for everything. You prepare for mosquito to eat you. You prepare to sit down when you eating food. The food drop. You take it, you wipe it and blow it. Now that the West, you reach
in Africa.
Exactly. That's how it is. That feeling just come. And you mind group of people, you all sit down. All the la story comes about. You all laugh, you all play checker, you all eat together in the same bowl. Then you realize this is home.
In 24, 25 years time, I've been to Liberia 2 times now. The first time I went to Liberia, it was exactly 14 years after I left. So I didn't see the World War II, all the blah blah thing. I didn't see it, but I saw everything on the internet and every information we're getting. Liberia, see it. So when I flew to Liberia in 2014, exactly 14 years after, I got to RIA. Then the plane was dark. The airplane was dark. I said, when the plane said go travel to Sierra Leone, right? They said we're coming land. Now looking for the fee. I said, well, we land here. So we landed some kind of way. Then the person that brought the poor inside, we went to the terminal. And the terminal, look at the terminal. That time I haven't seen the new terminal that drove here built, but that old thing out there. So we just walking. There are several rooms. Imagine Europe there where you stay on the line, you gotta go past the immigration thing. But people you're walking all over the place, The airport workers, all the kind of people. So I was still looking for the terminal where we go to go check out. Then I ended up to some kind of place when the guy said, "My man, bring your passport here." Oh, I get him my passport. And then, something happened. He said, "Okay, my man, yeah, that is just do it." So I said, so I really buying like bro for true. I gave him a little thing. So he said, "Man from Europe, hey, let me buy man from Europe." I left the whole line. All the people from America and thing in Europe were going ahead of the other people, the local. So I was like, hey, God, we buy here. Then when King also my brother waiting for me, we got in the car. The highway dark. So I was still scary. Because all the information I can get. Until we got to my brother's house, I started the next 10 minutes, Paul, I was still afraid because, we hear about armed robbery. So here is somebody who coming from Europe, maybe the armed robbery thing that they may get money. So I was still scary. And one little boy, he living in a community, the bottle that the boy made me afraid. He said, well, Papa, are you looking? He's scary. I said, no. He said, Papa, I know he's scary. He said, no, when they talk about armed robbery, that all. Nothing can happen to you.
I will share a story.
I can get people to go ahead before they come here. I say,
I will share a story with you. I was not in the war. I left some device on the front. I was not in the war, and I left Liberia 1988. So all the fighting, and I wouldn't watch on television. So during Charles Taylor era, when everything have ceased, right? I visited Liberia when Charles Taylor was president. Want to look for my mom. to see the condition. And when I came back, after I left, then the 203 war started when they grew, when now after Charles Taylor be removed.
Mm-hmm.
And what funny, it was that Charles Taylor time when I went to Liberia, but being a young man who grew up in a hostile environment in Europe, going to Liberia, people thought like, oh, how this going to be, like I'll be scared. There was some bishop election, the Episcopal Church had an election on Cotiton. And we drove from Monrovia to Cotiton. The road was so terrible because when you're driving, it's like you're going to take a whole day to get to Swakoko because everywhere is like this.
The potholes.
Yeah, checkpoint everywhere. But now this is the interesting bit of this story. The guy who drove us there, he an X-Factor. I didn't know, but I just going with the flow. I just wanted to go see how greater Liberia was. Yeah, I just wanted to see. But then most of the big people have left Monrovia. They went for that particular election as well. And in the evening, all of them driving by with a massive SUV. They all heading for Monrovia. So we decided to leave early because we're not part of that group. But the driver was big calm. He said, oh, it's all right. So when we left, when we got to Total Town, they had a checkpoint. And this checkpoint, when we got there, the guys, they asked for the driver to produce his car document. He didn't get no car document on him. He said, I don't have. So they said to park the car. I said, man, don't park that car on the side. Stop the car in the middle of the road. The reason why I suggested that, because I know Charles Taylor and others will be coming from that end, heading for Monrovia. If this car in the middle of the road, it will cause problem for these people.
Yeah,
yeah, we will move the car. So we're not moving the car. And then my little brother, he served in the immigration. He whispered in my ear when he said, Charles Taylor government, nobody know who is who. Everybody afraid of everyone.
Oh, yes.
So I said, okay, when he said that, I said, cool. So what I did, I had they had a digital camera that before smartphones started coming. When I took out that, oh, the guy got afraid. So, oh, you want to record? I said, this thing, I'm taking it to the president. You're stopping all unnecessary coming from a program. I said, I started making hash. So the guys in the car look at me. Then somebody asked, you're in the war. I said, relax. So they got so upset, they decided to send for the commander of that particular checkpoint. So the guy, he was sleeping that night. He got angry. He came. Who the people are causing trouble here? My driver Nana took us because he efforted. I didn't know when the commander came. He saw the driver. He said, oh, AB, that you? They started hugging each other. The sea commander now decided to send for King Juice and Power. He said, you park your car once I left. Yeah, have fun here.
Yeah, you have some fun.
Yes, that how that story ended. So we're back now. The guy said, you're not here doing the war because my picking had already PhD said nobody know who in the God, anybody can command anyone. That's
that, and that's a goodness about Liberia. All the thing somebody got to know somebody somewhere.
Yeah,
and those of us who worked as journalists across the land, we got a lot of stories to tell. And then wherever I went, there were no checkpoint would be up. Once I say, hey, my man, drive again. Lean forward, oh, my man, hey, that public journalist, let it go past. So, but again, this thing here is difficult. Like I said, hard to say. There were victims, and so when we're all Liberians, every Liberian, Paul, take this from me. Every Liberian were involved in the war some kind of way. Either you provided water for the guys to drink, you provided food for them, you provided shelter for them, not willingly, maybe, or willingly. Or everybody was affected in the war some kind of way. If you didn't lose or you didn't lose any close member, but you lose or you lost somebody who you know. So the war. It was just tango. Everybody was affected, either good way or bad way.
That's right.
Yeah, and so I think when it comes to all of these war crimes code, let's do this thing and get out of. Yeah, even if one person will go to jail, Chancellor who brought a war, the man in jail. Did anything change?
Or something else.
Yeah,
Not
for
for
something
Liberia.
else.
Yeah.
So let's try to set this example so that at least somebody will look at something and be afraid. Let me tell you, police in Norway, police don't carry arm too easily. So a police can stop me in the traffic. I say now play my music, say keep my music down. I say, Mama, I listen to my music. I say, what you stopping for? Say, oh, we do a regular check. But in America, you can't do that because the American guy, they can't get a gun in your head. Here, our police get gun so now we can feel comfortable. You see it? Yeah. But where you don't have something to deter, you think, I argue with the police most of the time. Okay. Me say I'm a speedster, they always stopping me, So I argue with them most of the time. But in America, I don't do that. Anytime I go to America when I'm driving, my man, when they say 60, I go in 59 or 58. I'm not even going close to that or 60 you're talking about. See, I know the more than can play.
Yeah, they don't joke. So, Lifa, I want to close on something that is very interesting here. I don't know what being a journalist and your time in Liberia, this never happened before, but something I'm going to suggest. In the UK here, we have a new government. The new government, they've been in office just for 4 months, right? They came on a party manifesto that they were going to do X, Y, Z. In 4 months, the prime minister started giving U-turn on his party manifesto because the way the system works here, the moment you become leader today, they're not waiting for inauguration. By 12 o'clock midday, you start work. Also, it means what you're going to do, you start laying out this is what you're going to become based on your party manifesto. Because he gave U-turn 2 days ago, there is an online petition that he didn't live up to his promise. He lied to the country. So in less than 24 hours, you have 1 million people petition him to call for a general election. The next day, it came to 3 million people. So Parliament now going to have a debate whether he should call for a general election. The reason why I'm bringing this, this guy just been in office for 4 months, and now the public are saying he lied to us, so we want general election. So, and the law here is when you get 10,000 signatures, they have to be discussed. But in less than 24 hours, 1.2 million people in 3 days time will get nearly 4 million people petition the government to call for general election. With this happening in Liberia, where we have a rescue mission that came to power that made a promise to the people that they're going to rescue the nation. And up to now, we've been hearing the Alolola buses, the yellow machine, the war crime code, this, that, nothing in place, everything helter scatter. With people in Liberia able to come up with a petition to say, look, this government, they made a promise. We see nothing in the first year. Can this government step down? It's impossible in Liberia.
But Paul, why you live in dreamland? Yeah, but
is it possible in Liberia?
I'm also asking you, as a Liberian, you're not third generation Liberian to say your parent came from somewhere family, or you were born Liberian, you grew up there, why you ask the kind of question? Why would you want to even live in La La Land? Why would you want to live in Dreamland? No, listen, let me tell you. You know what Liberians are?
I just asked you, is it possible in Liberia? Yes or no?
My man, I'm not in police station to say yes or no. But let me tell you something. The answer is no. Let me tell you something. Look at your lawmakers, the people who made law. They can't even build a boss to gather for the non-names to remove their own leader based on their own law. So you want to go down to one Charlie Booger or one Joe Blow from where Bongonima, who even know anything about his right? All he knows is maybe daybreak he finds something to eat, and that's all right for him. If he can get food for him and family, everything is all right. The man is not educated to the law or nothing. So I mean, all these things they are far-fetched in Liberia. So you're talking about even gathering signature of people. They will ask you, but what did the man do? why you want to move the man? No, Liberia, we are special people. And the way we're supposed to live, it's just that the people who run our country, the leaders, they are not smart in some way. Liberian people, we are very, 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 very easy to deal with. Yeah? Charter of drug war. Charter of drug war. People die all over the place. People properties got damaged. But the man knew how to deal with the people. He used to go when we were across the land. Then we sit down with people eating cassava, roasted cassava in the leaf. He go to visit those people down in the bushes and talk to them. And the people were satisfied. In fact, he created a jingle that we used to play on the radio. Say, during the war, I know my people pass here. They kill your goat, they kill your sheep, but I'm sorry. Please forgive me. That alone was big enough to satisfy the people. So Liberian people is very easy to satisfy. So don't I think you're talking about gathering signature?
The reason why I'm asking you this question, Linford, we're in a technology age. The reason why I'm asking this is simple. About a month ago, we saw what young people did in Nairobi. We're in a technology age. After Nairobi, what happened? Nigeria. Same nothing happened in Nigeria. People are informed. The information is there. So, and that's what is happening now. There's a global village we live in. People pass information here and there. And for our government that just been in office for barely 4 months, you don't think some young person or smart person could follow this story and say, if this can happen over there, I can mobilize some people here too. It can happen. I'm just a thought.
No, Paul, you said not getting the point I'm making. You're like,
I got the point you're making, but I just thought you because consider too the information.
You're like, there are different people. The very young people you're talking about. Liberia is I will not say it's a country, but I was surprised when I went to Liberia. You see the Ghana working, they may get two cell phones. He even got people need no. I saw my cell phone. The man got nobody to call. He playing with the phone. So I said, boy, he got 2 cell phones. He said, I don't want to have it. Can you imagine? Okay. And the man will say, please give me your number so I can put in my phone. You even got contact and you buy 2 cell phones. Please give me your number. That's so at this number. Nobody thinking, what are you thinking? And the same young people you're talking about, they are the praise singers for the people who suppress them. So the guy is looking for somebody to give him $10 every day. And the person probably can help him. So you think the guy going to gather signature against the guy? Why you think time to vote? They will sell their vote. When they should be standing strong. Because the decision gave them the power to stand strong, but they do not do that. Time for voting, they will go election time, they will go sell their vote for one t-shirt. So, your people, no. Let me tell you, we stay far away from what you think about here, Paul. Nobody will gather any signature to do anything. In the first place, the people get a cell phone, their girlfriend, and they're looking for. Please give me your number. That's all you know. You're not even concerned. Ask some of your young people you think about, even from the university campus, ask them, current event, what happened in Kenya yesterday? What happened in Ukraine? He will not tell you. That man get a phone. You get a fine guy. Let me tell you, pick your can give me your number, man. You see, or you take a phone, you call somebody abroad, say, my man, that you say. That's all they think about. Or they are praise singers. They all got loyalty to somebody. So some minister, some I know what I'm talking about. Okay. So those things you're talking about can happen, but I don't see it happening now in present-day Liberia.
In present-day Liberia. Thank you, Linford. So on this note, let's close up to our viewers. Thanks for being with us. Linford, how was the show today?
Well, I think the show was good. Sorry that I played the devil's advocate. I said a lot of things. I'm sorry, but this is it. This is what the show is all about. We give our opinions on the issues. what I said, I'm not right. Most of what I said today may not be right, but again, it's not wrong either. Who passes the judgment is me, whether I'm right or wrong. But I feel that I'm not wrong. That's my opinion. And you know, one thing about opinions is that nobody can change it. You may not agree with it, do not agree with my opinion, but you can respect it. It's not right, but you can respect it. It's not wrong either, because that's what I feel. So you know, the show was good, and we appreciate all of our followers. Like we said, always make sure that you can follow us on the show and be a part of the show. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, thanks, Linfa, and thanks to our viewers. For those of you that have been with us for the first time, kindly click on the like button. We comes on every Tuesday and Friday. Sometimes emergency we may come on a how they call it, abruptly like that, to discuss Mama Liberia, other event that is. And to summarize, we talk about the war in Europe here will be a threat. We don't know what's going to happen. The speed of which is going. People we know is based on economy. That's a complete economic war. They are fighting. Everybody want to show their muscle, and we hope that these things stop before we get into the new year, or in the new year, maybe it may stop or continue. But we're on a time bomb at the moment. The big hands want to also muscle themselves, because after every 100 years, Europeans tend to kill themselves. So with Liberia, with Prince Johnson, I hope for what Moba, Molu, and the other people are saying, that they should now hurry and bring this war crown code, because people are falling every now and then, dying. So we hope to have a good Liberia. We hope to have some sort of justice system that people can feel that they have some kind of redress to the situation. So to our viewers, if you join us for the first time, kindly share the show. We come on every Tuesday and Friday. And we also have a 24/7 online radio. If you look at the logo at the top of the screen, is there the bottom line Liberia. You can find it on all the app stores. You can download it. It's 24/7. This program is also relayed by tomorrow midday, so you can also catch the podcast that we have. So I will say good night, and we shall be here by His grace on Tuesday. So we'll leave you with this beautiful Liberian song by a young man saying it's Friday, when you're sitting in your little home having your little beer or having your little wine or soft drink if you can't drink. While those of you that are watching YouTube via television, grab your little Coke or Fanta, wherever, and listen to the young Liberian song while we close you. We say good night and see you next week. Boy.
If we're pregnant, it's people. Only records, now you bad liquor on a what you want you to don't can show yourself. Got plenty dancing, now you dancing, you get copy, I say don't can show yourself. You using Chani, Mr. Chani, I say to never don't can show yourself. Say you young boy, your sling on a papa buck. I say don't control yourself. You don't get money, you want eat shawarma, eat some pizza, don't control yourself. I using sense on you, using sense on your own Chani, don't control yourself. Your Nina Kebe, you go or you say your Nina Sarah, don't control yourself. Got too much bluffing, are you bluffing? You get nothing, I say don't control yourself. Now you buying gas, you say I'm on a runway speed, don't control yourself. You say your Nina Johnny, you not get no money, I say don't control yourself. You just see shy boy, you want come to smoke all the shisha, don't control yourself.
just poli, boy, you won't come tell me back on as I don't can show yourself.